So today we have a very special guest, a very special company, and I hope I pronounced the name of the company correctly. So it's Nomuo, or how do you pronounce the name?
Yeah, it's pronounced Nomuo.
Nomuo. Okay, yeah, because you have that funny symbol there, so I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. But what I like about it is that it's in a way not that different from X-Culture in terms of the mission. So meaning that the company is essentially in education for kids. And so that's exactly what X-Culture is trying to do as well. So we are also trying to offer different programs for children, including some special training. And so this company is out of Saudi Arabia. So they are a relatively new company, but already have made an impressive progress. So acquired quite a few customers. And so Ahmed Rahimi is the founder. So you're the founder and the CEO, right? So you are the person for the job. And yes, the goal for today obviously is to talk about the history of the company, the idea that gave rise to this whole enterprise, but more importantly also about the product, the programs that you offer, the courses that you offer. And I'm not sure if you're planning to use any slides or if you're just going to talk, but maybe let's start with a quick introduction of the company. And so I see Julia Onis here, so my assistant. So she will be monitoring the questions. So students, if you have any questions, you can type them in the Q&A window or raise hand and we will add you to the panel. So we will talk to you. So it would be nice to get to know you too. So, but Ahmed, so tell us a little bit more about the history of the company, where the idea came from, how old it is. Tell us more about, your enterprise.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Taras, for this introduction and for the opportunity. If you don't mind, I would prefer to present it as a pitch. So
of course, yeah. So let me make sure that you have, yes. So I think this will give you the slides. Yeah, of course. That's always helpful when you have some slides prepared.
Yes, definitely. So I'll just run you through a 10-minute maybe presentation. Run
perfect.
The participants through a 10-minute presentation. Then maybe we can elaborate and discuss.
So students, then you can ask your questions during the presentation in the Q&A window. We will monitor them, and then we'll have some time for reading your questions.
Sure. So Nomuo, basically it means growth in Arabic, and Nomuo is an education technology startup that is located in Saudi Arabia. And as we see that the future of education is progressing and evolving, and we want to make sure that we take part of this progress, whether how students or young learners learn, or what they learn, or how they learn it. And Nomuo wants to be part of this process that has been progressively moving forward over the last few years, and will keep progressively moving forward for the next years and decades. Before jumping towards the product itself, let's discuss a problem, and maybe this problem is the reason why we came up with this idea, aside from our love of learning and considering ourselves as lifelong learners. So many parents today, they face a common issue, which is that their kids spend between 3 to 4 hours every day after school on social media, playing video games, watching videos. Along that, many opportunity losses comes in the way, and burnt time spent on these devices. And of course, we know that our kids access social media or video games or TV shows through the medium that they enjoy most, which is technology. And this is a very important statement, through technology, which is mainly their main language today, or the most preferred language that they like to use. On the other hand, we find that we live in a rapidly progressive world, and the soft, hard, or even innovative skills that you require to succeed today or in the future is different than years before. And unfortunately, our kids are lacking the exposure to these soft, innovative, and technical programs. They're not learning it in school. They're not learning it outside of school. Aside from that, even when we find after-school programs or centers that provide the topics that we plan to target, which I plan to present later on, they find logistical hassles, and that is even pre-COVID-19. Logistical hassles such as transportations, how are they going to go to the center, who is there a guardian, how much time they're gonna lose going back and forth, since usually it's midday, Do they afford sending them to these programs next to the expenses that they have? Are they being exposed to the best educators and the best learning and the best learning programs? So many logistical hazards comes into the way to put kids into such program. Aside from that, now you have COVID-19 and the world is changing. And that's why we came with the concept of Nomuo, which provides on-the-go learning experiences. So Nomuo's value proposition constitutes of three elements: a custom-built software that we own and we develop always and keep upgrading, exclusive soft and innovative skill programs that we create and present to our learners, and global educators who teach these programs via our platform. So as you see on the side, the picture, this is a picture of how our classroom looks like, and these are pictures of live interactions of kids within our sessions. So let's start with our platform. So we have created over the last year and a half a custom-built platform that comes along with virtual classrooms. These virtual classrooms had been innovatively designed to cater to our young learners, so they can always have fun while they're learning, because learning should be fun. They should never feel bored. Within these virtual classrooms, we create our own programs that are related to soft, technical, and innovative topics that we believe are important in today's world, such as leadership, emotional intelligence, coding, design thinking. We're gonna tackle this in greater details later on. So these topics on our platform are taught via live group sessions led by global educators from all over the world. So we offer our courses in English and Arabic. Because we're located in the Middle East, we offer it in Arabic. So we have educators that exclusively work with Nomuo from the US, from Australia, from South Africa, from the UK, from Saudi Arabia, from Lebanon, different places across the world. Of course, our classes are, for each classroom or course, you have a teacher and 4 students who can see and talk to each other and interact with all the tools that we provide within the virtual classroom. So that these 3 elements create a scalable system that ensures that we have a repeatable, successful experience for all of our stakeholders, who are the teachers, the parents, and the young learners. While for us as a business, we maintain scalability. We have a scalable business proposition for us as a business. So that takes us to talk about our 3 main pillars, or our 3 main elements of Nomuo, which are the platform, the content that we provide on the platform, and the teachers who teach the content on the platform. As you see, we have our own system. We have a solid infrastructure, and we're able to run thousands and thousands of classes simultaneously at the same time. We have our own adaptive platform. As you see, it works on mobile phone, which makes learning experiences engaging and actually can happen through mobile phones, through iPads, through devices. So you can learn and interact with others, because interaction is the most important element in any learning experience, through a system that is extremely accessible, extremely fun, extremely engaging, and extremely relevant. Of course, because we have our own system, we control our technology growth process. So we can always add tools to the platform, to the classroom. We're never restrained by what we can do, because we don't use other platforms such as Zoom or Google Classrooms or Google Hangout. Just to give you a brief, for example, we decided that we want to add a pointing system to our platform. So students, when they participate, now they're able to accumulate points. With these points, they're able to go to a store while they do not have classes and purchase stuff from there. Of course, it's based on a mathematical equation, so we don't lose money as a startup. But I don't want to go too deep, but I'm telling you, because we have our platform, we can always innovate and come with solutions to keep parents and students engaged. So that's in terms of the platform. In terms of the content, as mentioned, we focus on soft, technical, and innovative skills. Today, we offer entrepreneurship, leadership, emotional intelligence, economics, design thinking. Soon, we're providing coding, AR, VR, financial literacy, investment, video game design. These are the skills that will produce future leaders and future talents. Of course, these competencies do tackle competence such as critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, ability to learn technical skills related to today's age. It's very important for you to know that teachers do not come with the content. We, as a platform, create the content. We have a rigorous process that starts working with subject matter experts, then curriculum developers. We cascade it from subject expert to curriculum developers who can frame it to make it relevant for our students' understanding, then to designers, then we test it, then we push it. Teachers do not come with their own content. So we're more of a school, you can say. But it's very important as well to tackle. I'm going to jump the question here. That is this a scalable model? Yes, it's a scalable model because we can create a course, then scale it to 1,000 teachers who are serving 10,000 students, for example. So this is in terms of the courses. In terms of the teachers, how do we acquire our teachers? We target set of pools that has subject experts and teachers who wants to teach online. We create them, we select them, then we qualify based on standards that we have. We interview them. Once they pass, we just train them, then they are ready to teach students within the platform. Just to give you an idea about the market size, today we're operating just in Saudi Arabia. We're soon planning to expand to the Middle East or even globally, because we do have global standards in terms of the platform creation tools, or even the content, or even the teachers, and we're not restrained. We already see platforms in the US or in the UK serving students in the Middle East and Africa and China. So we're really living in a global economy in terms of the education economy today. In general, the global market size for the e-learning business is worth between $172 billion to $398 billion. Just in the Middle East, it's around $683 million with a compounded annual growth rate of 9.8%. The Saudi market share has 237 out of the 683 million, which is the largest in the Middle East. Just in Saudi Arabia, you have 5.7 million young learners within our target age groups. And within the Middle East, you have 151 million learners within our target age groups. And you can even just imagine what is the capacity or the population globally for young learners. Our target audience today, we just serve students between 8 to 15 years old. We started with this limited age group because we want people who would not find challenges accessing the platform, engaging online with a teacher, with a group of students. But as of now, we're expanding. By September or October, we have an objective to start covering from 4 years old up to 17 years old. Of course, parents is part of our target audience because they are the one who's investing in their kids. And it's very important to know that millennial parents consider the most important investment that they have today is their kids. So we have a huge value proposition to offer them. Schools, of course, we plan to offer schools and organizations. Let me give you an idea about how our business model today works. And by the way, this is a great challenge that we can work with together, because we plan to even enhance our business model, make it more flexible and more scalable for parents. And this is one of the challenges we're going to face during this project. So today we mainly focus on business to consumer. So basically, let's say myself, Ahmed, would come into the platform as a parent. I would scroll through the topics and I would choose leadership. I would pick leadership. Once I pick leadership, I have 4 options because it's live sessions, I have 4 options of the schedules I would pick. So let's say, for example, one of the options is every Monday and Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. I would pick it. We start a batch every week. So my kid would start next week. We would align my kid with 3 other kids. So the classroom would have 4 students and a teacher. And the parent would pay 500 riyals a month, which is equivalent to $133 for 8 sessions a month. So every Monday and Wednesday for 1 month. So it's subscription-based monthly subscription. They can take different topics. Each topic would cost $133. Once they finish the topic, they can either take level 2 of that topic, so leadership volume 2, or they can shift to another topic. So this is the business model today. What we plan to—
So the standard course is 8 sessions. And then if there are more, that would be like level 2x 8 sessions, and then so on and so on, right?
Yes. And a parent is not restrained for one topic. If they want to take 2 or 3 topics a month, they can. It's up to them and based on their time availability and their budget. What we're planning to access today is to start making daily programs. So for example, if a parent just is finding their kid not doing anything, for certain programs that are not for all of the programs, for certain programs that are non-sequential, and we can get into this technical aspect later on, they can just buy one session, to have them attend 1 session a day. Of course, it does not deliver the objective like participating in a month for a full month, but we want to be flexible. As well, we have another program, which is a semester program, which it's called transformational programs. We want to start offering parents bundles for 3 months and 6 months. For example, a bundle of 3 months, let's say the investor bundle. We would teach the kid how to be an investor, how to be a strategic thinker, financial literacy. We would deliver certain objectives within 3 months. So we have semester programs, daily programs, monthly programs, which is our main model. And we as well plan to expand to boot camps, to open 3-4 rigorous days of 2-3 hours. delivering a certain objective. So, but today we only have one, which is the monthly subscription. So this is the business to consumer model where we plan to expand largely. The other model is schools, us going to schools, telling school, and today we're talking to a few schools, hey, why don't you use our platform as an extracurricular activity for your kids? What would happen is we provide you with the teachers, content, program, feedback, and you would split the revenue for us. We would split the revenue with you, for example. We're in talk with some schools to access this model. It's good for them because some schools do not have extracurricular activities, so they can resort to us. And some schools do have extracurricular activities, but it's costly, preparing the facility, getting teachers, building content. While working with us, it's cost-free and revenue generating. The other thing, another stream that we plan to tackle is organization. We could go, such as just a month ago, PepsiCo, which is a multinational company who owns Pepsi and Fanta and other products, came to us and say, hey, we want to buy 200 seats for the kids of our employees, and we will take care of it. So we can work with companies, corporates, to sell our program as part of the packages they offer to employees. But I need to stress that the most important stream that we want to focus on is the B2C stream, because we believe there is a huge future to commercialize education. So just to give you an idea about our business highlight or history. So we pre-launched the business in 2018 by starting developing the platform, the content, getting the network of teachers, building the whole ecosystem, testing the product. In 2020, we soft launched, just had our product open in the market, and any user who came across our platform at that time, we used to give them the sessions for free. But by end of March, beginning of April, which was the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, we started to actually operate, and we're operating until today since April. Since April, we were able to have 1,400 students taking classes in our platform. We have, as of today, more than 150 teachers on the platform ready to teach, taking classes. We successfully managed to run more than 3,900 sessions, and we made a revenue of 400,000 riyal, which is definitely still categorizes us as a company in its early growth stages.
How much would it be in dollars? What's the number?
It would be around 100K.
100K, that's in 1 year, you said, or?
No, in 4 months.
Oh, that's very impressive. That's, yeah, especially for a new company like that, very impressive.
Yes, and of course we had so many marketing restraints due to we are a bootstrap startup, so we were not able to even market ourselves the way we want. So today most of our students come in from Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Emirates, which is Middle East, countries in the Middle East, and as well we have students from the UK and Australia. What's impressive that we mainly targeted our marketing in Saudi Arabia, but as we said today, we're living in a global world. There are no geographical restraints. We organically got students from UK, from Australia, from Bahrain, from Emirates, and from Kuwait. This is very important for us because one of the challenges or one of the things that we want to achieve is how can we in a smart way expand to different markets. And definitely Dr. Taras had many valuable advice regarding that in a previous conversation.
Talking about that, so what languages do you offer your training in? Is it English or is it Arabic or is it more?
As of today, it's English and Arabic only. But if we want to offer them in other languages, it's not going to be a problem. It's going to be just a plug and play thing because we have the infrastructure. But today we have them in English, and classes that in English are taught by native speakers. And that's why we have an opportunity to expand globally. Classes that are delivered in Arabic are taught by Arabic teachers, while English and native speakers as well. Yeah. So this is in terms of the traction. In terms of the go-to-marketing strategy, today we focus on influencer marketing, which we see that is extremely effective. As we're saying, education is being commercialized. And when I say commercialized, I'm not meaning commercialized in a shallow way, but commercialized that parents and kids will resort to education as often as they resort to entertainment, to sports. Let's think about it this way, which is good for our future, that people will love learning experiences. People, for example, an adult, I have free time. What am I going to do? Well, the adult could choose between going on Udemy and attending a course or watching a TV show on Netflix. So we were doing the same thing for kids, which means influencer marketing, whom people follow for lifestyle, is very effective. Participating in hub and events, referral marketing, digital marketing, we need to find ways to hack our way and go viral with the least resources that we can use. Ambassadorship programs, which as well can help our global expansion quests, and partnership with schools, organizations, government, whatsoever. So these are our go-to-marketing strategies, just to benchmark and show you what's available in the market. Today, there's a company called Noon Academy. It's located in Saudi Arabia. What they do is they offer live engagement courses or classes, but to support school for tutoring in group live sessions. So to support math, science, etc. They have their own house curriculums as tutoring programs, and they have their own software. They do not offer the courses that we offer, but they have more than 5 million students in their platform across the Middle East. We have OutSchool, which is a platform located in the USA. What they do, they're more of a marketplace. What they do is they get teachers do enroll in the platform, and teachers comes in with their platform. Then parents come into the platform and choose classes for their kids by choosing teachers. The platform do not own the content. The teachers come with content, and they don't have a platform, specific platform. Teachers usually use Zoom. And all of their topics are dedicated towards soft and technical and innovative program like us, that will teach coding through Minecraft, Courage through, for example, Harry Potter, just stuff like that. We have another player who's not like us, but I just want to show the size of the market, Vipkid, which is a Chinese platform. They teach Chinese kids English through live session with English native speakers from America or Canada. So what happens is the Vipkid platform provide the content for the teachers, and they provide their own custom built platform. Today, Vipkid is worth more than $3 billion. They have more than 6,000 students in their platform, more than 50,000 teachers. What makes Nomuo special, we're bilingual, and we're open even to expand to many languages. We're based on live engagement. We create our own in-house curriculum, which means we focus on quality. We focus on soft, technical, innovative programs, which are not available in school. And we have our own software, which means our path towards developing our technology is endless. We can always keep innovating. Just to give you an idea about the executive team today at the startup, I'll start with myself, Ahmed Rahimi, CEO, co-founder. I come from a corporate background. I used to work as a corporate banker, managing a portfolio of small and medium enterprise clients, where I used to fund them by studying their business and monitoring their businesses. My co-founder and business partner, and who's the CEO of the company, Mohammed Ramadani, he has experience in blockchain consultancy, in building a user interface, user experience design agency. As well, Suleiman Aruz, the head of technology, Lurel, the head of education, who has more than 20 years of experience in the business, Saima, who's the head of finance, Khulud, a creative director. We do all of our creative stuff in-house. We do not outsource any of it. Then we have our customer service team and sales reps. So this was a pitch for Nomuo. I hope you were able to get a good understanding of what we do, how we do it, what are our objectives, and I'd love to discuss more. We can have it more of an interactive session. And as Dr. Taris guide us through this session.
Very informative, and I see we have some questions, so Julia will go through them soon, but I have a few questions that I wanted to clarify. So one, the classes are available, is it a website, is it an app, or like what's the actual interface?
So today we started by operating on a web app, so people would just enter on the web app and get into the virtual classroom, but within 7 to 10 days, we're launching our mobile app. So we operate through both, through a web app and through a mobile app.
And that's your proprietary app, so it's not like Blackboard or Canvas, it's actually your own app or mobile platform, right?
The technology and the content is our IP.
Yeah, okay. And then, so in terms of the marketing, so how do you promote your product at this time? Is it all social media, or do you try some other methods?
Today, mainly the main method we do is social media, and we find that it is extremely effective for this business. We saw other businesses trying to go billboard stuff, but it doesn't work because you can only convince people through interactive promotional activities. So we always, especially in this business, by the way, the education business is very tricky. You could go and see a company that's worth literally $5 billion, and they only have 30,000 followers in their social media. So this business, the education technology business, is quite tricky. So we found that the digital marketing is the most effective tool for this business as of today.
So which platforms do you advertise at? I assume Facebook, anything else?
Facebook, Snapchat, we do these 10-second ads, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Our social media influencers as well speak about us in different platforms. And we, as of now, we're targeting parents, but we really want to start to see if there is a way we can even target students. It's going to be more exciting at that time.
Yeah, and so that's what I wanted to ask. So parents are the decision makers and you target them at this time. Now you said 10-second ads, so it means you use like 10-second short videos or is it pictures?
So we have different tactics, but for example, for Snapchat, we actually shoot 10-second videos where we explain the app, you know, from an ad that we've shot. So this is for Snapchat. For Instagram, we promote our videos, our photos, etc. Snapchat, people would actually type about us and discuss us.
Any chance you have like a demo video or ad that you use for the advertisement? I'm not sure if you're on the computer where you have this, but can you share the screen? Just curious to see how you do it.
Yeah, of course. This ad we've shot it a few months ago. We use it as a promotional activity, as part of a promotion. We have it, of course, in Arabic and in English.
So one of the things the students have been asked to do is to come up with their own ideas for advertisement. So maybe some short videos, maybe some pictures. So students, you know, be creative here, see what you can, you know, think, but let's see what the current ads look like, but maybe you can come up with even more interesting creative ideas. And Ahmed, if you can also share your screen so we can see it, I think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So can you see my screen?
Yep, yeah. We see.
As humanity progresses, young people's futures are dominated by ambition. We must ensure the next generation excels and reaches their full potential. Nomuo's live online classes focus on teaching highly sought-after 21st century skills in leadership, emotional intelligence, negotiation, coding, and many more. Qualified, passionate educators help young people learn from highly effective curriculum of courses that are vital for both the present and the future. Nomuo's fun, safe virtual classroom and highly engaging content helps young learners to develop, find their true potential, and succeed. Engaged learning in the comfort of their own surroundings. Nomuo, sparking minds and changing lives.
That's very cool. So did you make it, like, did you tape it yourself or is it stock video footage or like curious? Because it looks very professional.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, we've came up with the whole concept internally. We've shot the video.
Weekly Zoom meetings in order to ensure
That's another ad.
members.
Yeah, I kept the video going on. So my bad. So no, we've actually done this from scratch internally. Of course, we worked with videographers, etc., but this is an exclusive video that has been created from scratch.
Very nice, very nice. Looks very professional, so very good. Another thing that is unusual about your school, so you have teachers, right? So it's basically live classes. Now, since you're planning to expand internationally, and you mentioned you have some people from the UK, well, UK is kind of in your time zone, more or less, plus or minus a couple of hours. But so if there were some participants, let's say from the United States or from Australia, how would it work with the time zones? Do you have teachers in those different time zones?
Yes, time zones is not an issue because usually us as a platform, the teachers, we're providing a service. So usually we always worry just time zones that provide time zones that are flexible towards students. Us as platform teachers, we always work around it, whether it's 1 a.m., 10 p.m., but we can always find ways. So for example, when we give classes sometimes at 6 p.m. here, it's 9 a.m. in the teacher's time zone. Some teachers who teach Chinese platform, they give classes while it's 1 a.m. in their time zone. So it's usually for service providers, us and teachers, it's not a problem. We work around it.
Yeah. So how many teachers do you have at this time? Because it looks like you have quite a few people working for you, right?
Yes, today we have 150 teachers, but we have a pool of, I guess, 4,000 or 5,000 teachers that we had not taken through the process yet. We plan to expand the pool but we plan to do it as as we expand our marketing and exposure. Because if we hire them all today, they might not be getting classes. So.
And so what's the relationship with the teachers? Are you getting them on like Upwork or some other platforms, or do they apply directly to you? How does it work?
They apply directly with us. We have a
So you advertise for teachers as well, or?
Yes, we advertise. We go through platforms that has teachers looking for a job, or even subject experts. So we have full-time online teachers who teach with us and teach with other platforms. We have teachers who teach in actual schools and teach with us part-time. We have subject experts who work in a specific field that is relevant to the topic that we teach. Then they teach with us. So we work with different people, and it's all based on contracting agreements.
Yeah. In terms of your cost structure, then, so I assume, and I'm speculating here, so correct me if I'm wrong, I assume a good portion of your cost would be then paying to the teachers, right? And then advertisement, or what are the sort of big expense categories?
So the teachers are part of our direct cost, because if they don't teach, we don't pay.
And you pay them what, by the hour, or they have like a permanent contract? Or?
Flat rates based on how many students they have in the classroom. We used to pay a flat rate, but then it ended up being a loss for us, because sometimes you have a class will have only one student.
Yeah.
A class might have 4 students. It depends. It's like a course. So we used to have a flat rate, then we end with a loss with classes that has less students. So what we've done is we link the pay and the duration of the class in relevance to how many students you have in the class. So if you have only 1 student, they get paid X amount, and they would maybe teach 35 minutes per session, and it's enough to deliver the objective. If they have 4 students, they get the maximum pay, and the session would go on for an hour. And we found that many parents, aside from the teachers, many parents, they want 4 students in the class, because they believe in what we believe in, that it should be based on engagement. They should
interaction.
This is
but the classes are still small, so like 4 students, that's still relatively small. Like you're not going like with 75 students, right?
We never plan to do that unless we want to open we want to give some free sessions, public classes, we could do that. But paid classes should have 4, because you want the element of engagement, but as well you need high quality engagement. You want everyone to know everyone in depth. You want the teacher to know everyone in depth. So you don't want to lose quality.
Yeah. In terms of the your platform versus, you mentioned Udemy, but also Khan Academy, Coursera, what's the difference both in the business model but also in the customer experience?
Yes. So we're just live. So Udemy, Khan Academy, what they do mainly, sometimes they could have a blended model where they could teach live and non-live, but many of the stuff that they do is recorded, because they're scaling.
Almost all of that actually is recorded. At least my kids do a lot of Khan Academy stuff. It seems like it's all recorded videos, right?
So what we focus on, we purely focus on live engagement, because I personally believe the future is headed towards engagement through technology, not isolation through technology. You can even see that in Snapchat and Instagram and even Fortnite. It's all based on engagement. So we're taking it that path.
Mm-hmm. And so in terms of the platform, so since you are technically a platform, have you thought about offering sort of like third-party content? Let's say, for example, Xculture develops a course on international collaboration. We cannot put our course on your platform at this time, right? So it's all proprietary stuff, or how does it work?
Yeah, as of now, it's all by us, but we're open. So this is it, how to expand the business, how to make it more of a scalable business. We're open for ideas. Scalable. Any idea that we're open for should be scalable. So if this is scalable, we're open to do it. Just remember, once we have a solid infrastructure, we can plug and play with different stuff.
Yeah. Now, in terms of the pricing, did I understand correctly that it's about, you said $240 for 8 sessions, something like that, or?
$133.
$133 for 8 sessions. So that's what, about $15 per hour, something like that?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, in Saudi riyals, it's 500 per session.
Right. So when the person signs up for the class and pays the money, but then misses a session, how does it work? It's their fault, or they can take the session with a different teacher later?
These are part of the challenge in the business model. If they miss, they miss. But I wish we can put them in another class, because I believe, because we're a tech company, we need to be flexible.
Of course.
But unfortunately, today we cannot do that, because if they miss, we have to pay the teacher. The teacher had been already paid. Okay, if I want to put them in another class, I need to make sure that they're not taking a topic that they've already taken. So technically, we're trying to work around these things.
Now, retention, I've taken several MOOCs, massive open online courses, if students don't know what that is, in the past, through Coursera, through Udemy. And in many cases, literally, there would be like 2,000 people who sign up and like 12 people who graduate. Like the attrition rate is huge. Likewise, in X-Culture, it's not too bad with the university students because for them, it is part of the course. So we would get about 6,000 names to begin with, and probably about 5.8 thousand graduate. But when we try, for example, we're working with the kids also over our international collaboration experience. In many cases, people sign up and then never show up because I suppose, I don't know, maybe parents signed up the kids and the kids were not interested, or who knows. So for you, is that a challenge? Like sometimes people not, you know, showing up for classes, maybe dropping in the middle of the semester. How do you deal with that? And you know, does that present at all a challenge? Maybe it's a whole different story.
That's a big challenge. See, I'll tell you, our problem is not people. Usually what we do is the first session is for free, okay? We don't have problem in conversion. People would actually, they take the first session, they like it. Our problem is retaining them for the next month. They would finish the course. Usually people pay and they attend. So we have a problem with retention due to many factors, which we can discuss, technical factors. One of the challenges we want to tackle, how can we increase retention? And increasing retention is not up to the parent.
Yeah.
Increasing retention is how to engage students in the platform, because students, if you know what would be to the parent, what would, if I'm using the right word, what would be more pleasant to the parent if their kid would want to take another course for the other month. So we need to work around how to engage kids. That's why, for example, we came with the idea of giving points. So the teacher can press on a button, the kid would take a point, then if they accumulate X amount, they can always have a library or a shop, they will go and purchase stuff. These things increases retention. So we need to come up with methods to keep kids in the platform all the time. And we're willing to edutain, which is
like maybe some sort of gamification type of methods. There is this very interesting book, The Actionable Gamification, so where they talk about, because kids can spend literally hours and hours playing like Fortnite, for example, right? Or maybe on Snapchat. So nobody has to force them. You cannot get them away from the screen. So how can you keep them also engaged equally when it's like economics course, for example?
This is a breakthrough. If you're able to do it, it's a breakthrough.
Yeah, if you can do it, that's true. That's very true. And one last question before we go, because we have a lot of questions from the students. Sorry for monopolizing the situation. Do you give some sort of certificates in the end? And are those certificates recognized by the school? Like, can it count as part of the academic sort of curriculum? How does it work?
As of now, we give certificates, just a certificate of attendance. We're thinking in the future, only do, by the way, when we were creating the concept, I personally said, and what I personally say maybe is not what the market wants. We're not up for certificates because we're here for people to enjoy it, similar for kids to enjoy it and learn it, because learning is an accumulative process. So they're here for the love of learning. Their parents are putting them here because they understand the value behind it. So we're not after certificates, but we realize that.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So we realize that parents know they do want certificates to have it, show it to universities when they graduate from high school, and so that's why we started to give certificate of attendance, and we're thinking to work with established organizations just to have their names with us in order for parents to use these certificates for any reason later on.
What I had in mind, my son is actually here watching right now. Maxim Tara is there, so he can tell more. But at some American schools, the children are allowed to take courses outside the school, and they may count towards your degree. So in many cases, they take courses like, for example, on Coursera, or maybe some courses at even Khan Academy. Sometimes it's a required part of the course. Like I know he spends a lot of time on Khan Academy because that's what his course requires him to do. But in some cases, they literally have some choice and they can take the course outside. And I'm curious if it would be possible to kind of design it in such a way that, for example, my kid takes a course, let's say in economics at your school, and then brings that certificate to the school and says, I took it on Nomuo, for example, and yeah, here is my certificate. And they say, oh, okay, you get credit. So probably that would require some special, arrangement with the school district, or maybe, I don't know, Ministry of Education. But I think maybe that would be possible sometime in the future.
Yes, definitely. We can definitely do that, and you go directly through the Ministry of Education. Yeah. But we need to establish some solid grounds for us to get to a level where we would consider these programs by this platform.
Yeah. Like for example, in the X-Culture, in the children's version of the program, we have many participants from Ireland. And we first didn't know why Ireland, why would Irish kids participate in mixed culture, but turns out in high school, they have one, I'm not sure if it's one semester or 1 year, when they have to sort of take time off and do something outside school. So they can find some practicum, some internship. And so X-Culture is a good opportunity for them. They participate in these teams. So for them, it's a school requirement. So for us, it's good. I mean, they participate, we're happy. But I didn't even know that they have the system. And so maybe there would be something like that also for your company. But anyway, I've had enough questions. So Julia, there are questions from the audience. So
We have some questions from our students. I think everybody, includes me, are very excited with your ads and with your promotion, with your brief. So thank you. I am a mom. My kid is 2 years old, and I think that's like how study in future will look like. So the question is, as we know, nowadays we are a lot of local institutions that already offer online courses for various subjects. What would make someone want to try something foreign? It was a question from Gavrita.
Okay, so this is a very good question. Well, there are multiple aspects to it. Today, as we said, we're living in a global world. I mean, today I see students here in Saudi Arabia taking classes with platforms that are in the US or in the UK. And as you've seen, some students from the UK or Australia had taken courses with us. So, and plus we are online. So we're online, but we're based on interaction. We're not brick and mortar. So what makes this lucrative is how we brand our platform, who are our teachers, how our curriculums look like, and definitely parents not wanting to send their kids to a brick and mortar, whether it's for logistical hassles or for any reason. So I don't see that there is a local and global line here. We're all at the same level. In terms of why would parents want to choose us, and that's why we need to show them the quality of our offering. Now, of course, if the only reason why a parent would not come to us is them wanting to go to an actual brick and mortar, which will only be attainable if they go to a school in their city or in their district. So that's why they would come to us and maybe not go to that school if they do not want brick and mortar. But if they want a live platform that provides live group engagement, certain topics, certain quality, then we would obviously be a contender across local and global platform. And the way we could be different is by our quality, our branding, our whole value proposition.
Continuing the theme of a curriculum, we have a question from Samarth. Considering your target audience in kids in schools still, how does your curriculum relate with schools' curriculums? Is it a supplementary to what's being taught in school, or you are teaching different skills that once being taught in school?
Yes, definitely. As of today, we do not teach skills that is taught in school, such as science, math, history. We teach stuff that are, or skills or subjects that are very important for them to develop their characters and their technical ability in today's world. And regarding topics, to answer the question, topics that are not taught in school, such as emotional intelligence, leadership, negotiation, debate, public speaking, these are soft skills. Hard skills could be coding, economics, artificial intelligence, economics, design thinking, filmmaking, let's say poetry, strategic thinking. So these skills that would create future talented leaders. So to answer the question, no, our skills align, and these skills do supplement their performance in school. Because if someone could have good leadership course or good computational thinking by learning coding, they would perform good at school. Now, something we can do in the future is link their performance in school with the topics that they've taken with us. Of course, this is a little bit down the road.
I think between the emotional intelligence and the future is a very little way in between this. So we need to make more efforts for children to have the emotional intelligence. The next question is about influencer marketing. Our students is excited. How you can you please shed some light on your work with influencers? What kind of influencers do you employ? And how do they promote your school,
That's a
your courses?
very good question. Yeah.
A very good question, very targeted question towards how we access our user base. So far, what we know is we've been targeting specific influencers who have audience of mothers and fathers who are part of our target audience. And so we wouldn't go, for example, to an influencer who's 16 years old, who's most of their audience is teenagers or kids. We go for someone who had audience who are moms and dads between late 20s, late 30s, late 40s, late 50s. So what we do is we target them. Then what we try to do is we show hands-on experience. So we go to the influencer, we say, actually show the experience through your kid being on the platform. So the parents would have a hands-on take on the product itself, and it has been proven to be successful so far.
Cool.
There's this question by Samarth Dora. She's asking, or he's asking, so no, almost core, sorry, Nomuo. I need to, Nomuo, right? Nomuo's core competency is the software or the platform or the courses, because you're technically you're like a three-sided platform. You have teachers, right? You have students, but then you sort of have parents who want the students to be there. And then obviously you are the content providers. And so, so is the platform sort of the main product, or is it the course content the main product, or how do you position yourself?
The main product are the platform and the platform and the content.
Yeah,
because
so
we create the platform and we create the content. Teachers do teach the content via the platform. I would say it's an ecosystem. It's the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, so you're different from like Udemy or Coursera in that respect, because they post courses by others. You post your stuff, so you're more like Apple, you know, with the Apple stores, but not Apple like with the app that come from the third-party developers.
Yes, exactly. So this exactly similar analogy.
Yeah. Julia, do we have any more questions?
Yeah. The next question is also about a course. Do you have any thoughts on a subscription model like a Coursera?
Could you maybe elaborate more? So do you think, are we thinking to expand like Coursera, or what are my thoughts on the model of Coursera? Because it's successful.
That's a good question, because as I understand is Coursera, they charge per course. Like some courses are free and some you pay for the course. It's not like a subscription. Like it's not like you know, like a subscription like music streaming, you know, service.
And also it's a recording sessions.
Yeah, but
maybe with live or with not live, but most of recorded content, not live.
Just like when you subscribe to like a music streaming like Pandora, for example, so you pay a monthly fee and you can watch or listen to as much content as you want. Coursera, you pay per course, and in your case, Ahmed, you also charge per course, right? You don't have like pay $500 a month and attend as many courses as you want, right? So it's not the case.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So if in terms of expansion, yes, definitely. We're always open. We're open for different. If we want to scale, we need to be open for different business model. I personally would always want to keep the live engagement model, because I personally am a big firm believer of learning through engagement and social interaction. But we're open for expanding our business model to various areas.
Yeah. Can I ask a couple of questions also related? Again, I'm personally interested in the answers, because we are in a sense in a similar business, even though the product is very different. But for 11 years now, I've been managing the X-Culture product, you know, platform. And even though our courses are not, you know, teachers teaching courses, it's students working in international teams, but ultimately the goal is the same, to provide the type of education that the normal school does not provide. And so I'm curious, Ahmed, one, what gave you the idea to start this kind of a business? So basically, you know, why education? Why not something else? And then what were the biggest challenges? So you've been around for only, 2 years. You've shown a very, very dramatic growth. I mean, again, maybe students do not realize it, but as someone who's been trying to do the same thing, I know how difficult this is. And so this is a very, very impressive growth. And so I'm kind of curious more about this entrepreneurial side of the business. So why did you decide to do it? What were the challenges? How did you overcome them? Because the truth is the students want to be where you are in a few years. So many of them will be starting their own business. So maybe they can learn from you, maybe even from your own mistakes. So what's your sort of, you know, you as an entrepreneur?
So first of all, why I started this business, as you see, I don't come from an education background.
You're a banker, you said, right?
Banker, exactly.
So why not an investment fund? Why an education platform?
Exactly. First of all, I believe I'm a lifelong learner. I have love for learning. I love to share learning with others. And this is what always kept me close to the business. What always gave me an insight to the business that my sisters do own a preschool and after school program. I've been always close to them for the last 10 years, operating the business, looking at at what are the hassles, what are the opportunities. Aside from that, it starts with a personal problem. I see kids around me all the time, nephews, nieces, who burn their time on technology, playing video games, watching videos on social media. And I've noticed that it's intensively based on engagement. They're not just watching alone, they're talking to others, etc. Then going to the market and being aware, when I entered in one of the most aggressive fields, which is corporate banking, I realized that most of the skills that required for any person there to succeed had not been taught in university nor in school, whether it was technical, whether it was soft skill. You'd only, so I matched many things, I've put a lot of puzzles together. Future technology, love of learning, technology being facilitating engagement rather than isolation. So I put all my experience with extracurricular or programs. So I put all of these problems together. Then we say, why don't we create a platform that is fun, engaging, that kids would want to be on, that teaches skills, that facilitates globalization. And that's how we came with the concept of Nomuo.
When it comes then to the kind of entrepreneurial, investment, the initial seed money, starting the whole business, what was sort of the experience and what are the lessons you learned? For someone who wants to start a business, what can they learn from you?
You need to plan from day one. From day one, you need to plan. If you're bootstrapping the company, if you're getting the money as loan, or if you're getting supported by, you need to carefully watch how much you're spending for at least until you build the product. You need to have a plan of how you plan to get investors to scale your product early on. Do not leave it later stages. Now I'm struggling because I'm struggling getting the funding that I want to get because I did not pre-plan for it. Because again, sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time, but you do not have enough funding to scale. You go to investors would not chip in even if they like you, because you don't have a track record, and you would not be able to get a track record unless you spend money and get users. Let's say, for example, imagine you have an engine of a Ferrari, but you don't have a fuel in the car to run the race.
Exactly.
So this is sort of a problem that you get at early stages. A very important element, you need to work on your marketing plan from day one. Do not say, I'm going to keep it later on. It's not important. I'm going to focus on my product. Work on it from day one to come with innovative solutions of how your product is going to be out there, while ensuring that you have a proper back-end system that will retain users rather than churn users. Because a lot of entrepreneurs fall in the problem of just being mono and focusing on the product rather than focusing on the whole ecosystem, the whole areas of business. From day one, think of marketing strategies. From day one, think of investment. While dedicating at least 50 or 60% of your time on the product, because this is your value proposition at the end of the day. But do not disregard other stuff. And I've learned this the hard way. That's why today I'm starting to spread myself out of the product, while it's very important for me to be in the product. And focus on other areas of the business.
Can I ask you how much it costs you to launch the business? How much money do you need to kind of get it rolling, roughly?
Yeah, I would tell you we've spent today more than, estimately we've spent more than $400,000 to $500,000 as of today.
Have you been able to recoup that cost yet, or it's going to be some time before you're...
Definitely, we did not recoup it, and I don't look to recoup it anytime soon, because even as what I would as well advise students who want to create their own business, you need to know when you create your business, do you want it as a cash cow, or do you have a future vision to make it a scalable company, and you're not looking for profit and you're willing to struggle for 3 to 4 years? And I have the second mindset. I don't want to recoup anything now. I just want to scale and grow the company.
Did you need to look for external investment like loans or equity, or is it all your own?
Right now it's bootstrapped. I'm saturated. I cannot invest more. So right now we're in the phase of looking for investments, getting
So
investors.
you're open to some external venture capital or something like that?
Yes, we are in talks with VCs, with few VCs today.
Very interesting. We are almost out of time, Julia. Are there any other kind of new questions? Because I see some of the questions are repetitive. So
I have one last super question from the nearest future. When your company would economically grow in scale, how would your platform cope up with increased number of students, as the classroom can only currently have 3 or 5 students?
Okay.
How will you deal with that?
Okay, definitely. This is a very good question. Investors ask me this question all the time. So see, we're not limited. I could run 1,000 classes at the same time. Each class would have 4 students, and I would need, for example, 200 teachers or 300 teachers to do so. I have the scale of teachers to do so. Now, this would mean less profitable. If I want to be more profitable, then I would have 8 students in one classroom. But to me, it's good. I don't need to have, I focus on quality. So I could have up to 100,000 students being managed by 10,000 teachers. Now the question, do you have the supply? Yes, I have the supply. Then this means we're a scalable business. Now, if I want to be more profitable and increase my margin, then I could have 8 students in one classroom. Because remember, we're not brick and mortar, and I'm not entitled to 4 rooms or 5 rooms. I can have 1,000 rooms running at the same time. Looking into that, we are a good profitable business. If we reach thousands of students, we are a profitable business. There was a very good question as well, if you just allow me, since we're running out of time, by I think Grafita.
about exams.
Yeah. So
Go ahead. There was a very good question about that. Do you have exams or assessment?
It's this question, the exam and assessment. How can you? It's 2 questions. How can you objectively assess students? This is one of the main challenges, by the way. I was in a panel a few days ago. I was asked the same question. I was saying education is an accumulative process. So we're not looking, it's like you learning in your life, in the journey of your life. You keep learning, and you wouldn't say, okay, this is a certificate, I've learned this certificate, I've learned that. You just, as a lifelong learner, you build on it. And as of today, we have very subjective assessment models, and maybe we can work on this challenge together to find objective way, because as well, you don't want to be objective then timid towards students. Because students we could do tests, and students could feel, okay, this is another school. So you see the other side of it. We don't want that. A third question, using our platform, there was another question that was posed, which is, do you find technical difficulties using their platform? Now I'm telling you, this is the downside of using your platform. If we use Zoom, then we would get away. Someone is doing purely spending billions and doing purely good technical job in not making people face technical difficulties. Because we're not taking that path and using our platform, yes, we're finding technical difficulties, and we have our own systematic way to solve all of these bugs. So it's a process, and yes, we're finding technical difficulties.
Well, if one day you have 10,000 teachers serving 80,000 students, you would literally be the biggest university on the planet. I mean, that's the size of a, University of Toronto, I believe, is currently the biggest school. That's pretty much the size. So hopefully one day. Well, anyway, we have to stop here because I have my own lecture at 12. So we've had 3 webinars, students, but I now have to teach my own class at the University of North Carolina here. And so we cannot have multiple sessions at the same time. So I have to switch to that one. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for the information. So as I said, I do believe in the mission. So some of the companies, they basically sell a product to make money. Yes, you probably sell the product to make money, but it's one of those businesses where you sort of do well by doing good. So that's what the planet needs. That's what the society needs. So education, that's what keeps us sort of, well and alive. So good luck to you. And as I said, it's a business that does some good in the world, changes the world for the best. Thank you so much. So if students have any additional questions, we will be sending them to you from time to time by email. And then other than that, maybe we'll do another webinar if there will be too many questions at some point. And then sometime in early December, we'll have the reports and the ideas from the students for you. And I hope there will be lots of interesting ideas and links and, business leads. And let's see how things go.
I can ask all students and all our visitors to paste their question to the email admin.xculture.org, and I will be there. Yep. I will make all your questions together and send them to all the speakers from the webinar. So looking forward to hear from you.
Exactly. And for the students, very importantly, you have 2 links for each company, one for the challenge, but the other one for the frequently asked questions with the answers. And again, so when you ask a question, if it's a new question, we paste the answer into that document, and then you will be able to read them. So you can look at that document from time to time to see what other questions other students asked, and then you will see the answers there as well. So this way, we don't have to send an email each time to the company owner when the new question comes along. All right, thank you so much. So talk to you soon.
Thank you.
And, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Julia, for your help. And thank you, Ahmed, for the introduction. Thank you.